local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
From the Heart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning, and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. Last week, the Clinton School Board announced the hiring of Chuck Nagel as the interim superintendent. Board member Chris Hammer told the Heart Media Group that now that an interim has been hired, they are beginning the search for a permanent superintendent to fill the role. He says the board is not limiting itself to searching internally or externally exclusively.
We're actually going to do both internal and external.
Yeah.
I don't want to limit it to one. I know some people like to. You can stay in-house to do it, but we want to get the best candidate possible. So we want to open it up to that. Some of the firms out there, like Illinois Association of School Boards, they will help do this, but you know, a lot of those cost money and some of them cost more than others. So we're actually going to meet today and discuss that with some of our school personnel on what are some of our options. There's some other things, you know, and sometimes you just post it on the job bank, but people are going to know that it's open if they don't already. So we're hoping to get some candidates, but we'll definitely do some type of search. I'm not sure what firm we'll go through or how we're going to do that necessarily. That's something that the whole board's going to get together and talk about. But, you know, we already have things in place. So we know we want to try to post it towards the end of September. That way, if we can get somebody that we really like in the first few months, then we can see if they'll take a couple personal days and come down here.
Nagel and the future superintendent will be coming into the district during a season of transition. From new elementary administrators and the elementary restructuring to upcoming contract negotiations, the district is in need of a strong leader.
Yes, that's a good question. He's going to be the one that has to make any tough calls with it. I will say, you just said it. There's a ton going on here. We hired a new principal and a new assistant principal this year for those buildings. So they're new to it. It's going to be new to the teachers. So, you know, the first few months are going to be a little challenging. And I know Chuck plans on spending a little extra time here and a little extra time over at the schools to make sure it goes as smoothly as possible. A bunch of us were on the committees that help do this. So Sandra Baker is going to be a big part of this. So we're going to do what we can to help Chuck. But we have a lot of good administrators in line. Jim Peck, Jerry Wayne, they're there to help, you know, and they're very experienced and everybody respects them. So we're going to really lean on everybody, but Chuck will be the man that kind of, you know, helps us get through this year before we can hire a new one.
The 2026-27 school year will be the last for retiring high school principal Jerry Wayne and assistant principal Bob Spencer. And Hammer indicates that they plan to take a similar approach for that hunt.
Mr. Wayne and Bob, they're both, this is their last year. Same thing with the high school principal and assistant principal. We're probably going to post those early. And same thing, we're going to do in-house and out-of-house. And, you know, we got that going on. And that's why we took our time with finding the superintendent. He has the building restructurings, which was a great thing to bring up. He's going to have to hire the principal and assistant principal for the high school next year. And in the spring, we have to negotiate with the teachers on a new contract. We need some experience for the principal for sure. We will not hire a principal that does not have any principal experience. Assistant principal, you know, that's where people start. You know, you get your administrative degree, you become assistant principal, get some experience, then become a principal. But the qualities we're looking for are being invested in the district, being invested in the town, being invested in the community. You know, we want people invested like that. So
yeah,
that's
absolutely
kind of what we're looking for. Yeah, it's already going to be word of mouth that we're looking for, superintendent for next year. And then also most people around here know that Bob and Jerry are retiring.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we will put that out there. So if anybody knows anyone that thinks will be a good fit, please have them apply when we post it. That'll be, important. We'll look at all avenues and all options.
Nagel has years of teaching and administrative experience, including in the Clinton School District. Keep up with all the latest from Clinton schools by finding them on Facebook or by visiting cusd15.org. The DeWitt County Museum has been hosting America 250 events all year long, and they are looking back at a busy June as they turn the page to the rest of the year. Joey Long, executive director of the C.H. Moore Homestead, says that while they are hosting at least one America 250 related event each month, during June they hosted 3 big ones, the first of which was a book signing by author Maureen Holtz for her book Images of America, DeWitt County.
Yeah, so June we had an author's book signing. Maureen Holtz had recently released a book about as a pictorial history of DeWitt County. And so we invited her in and she gave a presentation about that and signed books as people purchased. And I will add, we still do have a supply of books at the museum and the gift shop. If anybody's interested in purchasing one, you can feel good about buying it at the gift shop, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because any books that are purchased at the gift shop, that money directly benefits the museum. And we've sold many. It's been very popular. So we had the author's book signing.
A highlight for museum goers each year is the month-long quilt show. Long indicates that they put an America 250 spin on the event and saw better participation than they have in years and a fantastic quality of quilts. Central Illinoisans also love to show off their classic cars, and Long says that was especially true at the museum car show last month. There's more America 250 fun to be had this year at the Homestead. Keep it to the Heart Media Group as we approach August to hear more about what's going on, or visit chmorehomestead.org and find their Facebook page. Get news anytime, all free, all the time at DeWittDailyNews.com.
AgriTalk is the radio talk show for American agriculture. Hi, everybody. I'm Chip Flory, your host. We join you weekday mornings from 10 until 11 on WHOW, on AM and FM, and on the WHOW streams. We provide farmers and ranchers with timely insights and information aimed at improving their operations. Join me, Chip Flory, weekdays at 10:06 on Central Illinois Ag Station, WHOW.
It's the quiet moments you count on. A call that connects instantly, a show that never buffers, a home that just works. That's the difference with Connexus Fiber Internet. We built a buried fiber network designed for consistency, earning us the title of top-rated fiber internet provider in Illinois. With plans starting as low as $25 a month and 3-year price lock options, it's reliability you can feel without the unpredictability. Because with Connexus, connection means everything. Experience better at Connexus.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
Here's Clinton Save-A-Lot owner Dave Jackson on how he works to save you money every day.
I watch the Decatur market very carefully. I stay under these, supposed low-price chains, and I make sure I'm under them. So anybody that's rushing to Decatur or other towns to buy commodity items like flour and sugar and milk and eggs and things that matter are fooling themselves. We are cheaper or as cheap on all the items that matter, and I make sure of that.
And as Dave always says,
hope to see you soon.
Don't let a summer sniffle turn into a summer setback. Warner Hospital's walk-in clinic has you covered. No appointment necessary. Just walk in and be seen by our caring medical team. Warner Hospital Walk-in Clinic, right here when you need us.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
From the Heart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sports Wire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. Andrew Benintendi hit a go-ahead 3-run double that chased Texas starter Jacob deGrom in the 5th inning, and the Chicago White Sox beat the Texas Rangers 10-3 on Monday night.
With a 10-3 win, the White Sox avoided insult by snapping a 10-game losing streak at Globe Life Field against the Rangers, but injuries to Kyle Teel and Colson Montgomery made the evening bittersweet. Colson Montgomery is day-to-day with a right shin contusion, but Edgar Caro's recall from AAA means an IL stint likely for Kyle Teel with a left ankle injury. At least Andrew Benintendi delivered a clutch bases-loaded double with 2 outs in the 5th.
A swing and a line drive, fair! Right field. Antonacci scores. Murakami is in. Here comes Vargas.
The White Sox continue their road trip with Game 2 of 3 in Arlington, Texas on Tuesday night. I'm Jeff Meller, and I'll have your pregame coverage starting at 6:30 on the ESPN 1000 Hard Rock Casino White Sox Network.
The Sox and the Rangers are back at it tonight on WHOW. Pregame starts at 6:30 p.m. Spencer Torkelson hit a 2-run single in Detroit's 3-run 10th inning, and the Detroit Tigers topped the Chicago Cubs for a wild 8-6 victory on Monday night. Dylan Dingler connected for 2 solo homers as Detroit improved to 12-4 in its last 16 games, continuing its push to stay together ahead of the August 3rd trade deadline. Riley Green also went deep, and Gleyber Torres had 2 hits and walked twice in his return from an oblique injury. Kenley Jansen, who is 2-4, got the win, and Tyler Holton handled the 10th for his first save this season. Jansen struck out Alex Bregman for the final out of the 9th, leaving the bases loaded. Trent Thornton, who is 3-3, started the 10th for Chicago, but the right-hander was helped off the field after he was struck on his lower leg by Green's 108.9 mile-per-hour comebacker. Dingler made it 6-5 when he drove in Hao Yu Lee with an infield single off Javier Assad. Cubs second baseman Nico Horner then committed an error on Kerry Carpenter's grounder, and Torkelson bounced his clutch single up the middle. Dingler had 4 hits in his 3rd career multi-homer game all this season. The All-Star catcher also picked off Seiya Suzuki at second for the final out of the 5th. Suzuki, Michael Busch, and Ian Happ homered for Chicago, which had won 4 of 5. The Cubs trailed 5-3 before Happ hit a 2-run shot off Kyle Finnegan in the 8th. Chicago right-hander Jamison Talon allowed 4 runs and 5 hits over 4 1/3 innings in his first big league start since June 7th. He was activated from the 15-day injured list after being sidelined by a left hamstring strain. Talon looked rusty in the first, and the Tigers took advantage. Green hit a 3-run shot for his 15th homer, and Dingler followed with a full-count drive to center for his 20th this season. Chicago rallied in the 3rd. Suzuki hit a 2-run shot off Jack Flaherty, and Busch followed with his 13th homer. Framber Valdez, who is 5-6 with a 4.1 ERA, starts for Detroit on Tuesday night, and fellow lefty David Peterson, who is 4-7 with a 6.45 ERA, takes the mound for Chicago. Vaughn Grissom drove in the tying run with a 1-out double in the 9th inning, and Joe Adell was hit by a pitch in a bases-loaded situation to give the Los Angeles Angels a 3-2 comeback win over the St. Louis Cardinals on Monday night. Nolan Schanuel, batting .367 since June 21st, sparked the late rally with a 1-out single off all-star closer Riley O'Brien, who is tied for the National League lead with 25 saves. Jorge Soler was hit by a pitch, and Grissom sent a line drive off the right field wall that eluded a leaping Jordan Walker. Pinch runner Oswald Peraza scored from second base, and pinch runner Jose Siri reached third. Josh Lowe was walked intentionally to load the bases. Adele, who homered in the third inning, took 3 straight balls from O'Brien, who is 3-4, before getting plunked by the next pitch to force in the winning run. Angels reliever Jose Fairman, who is 3-1, struck out 2 in a scoreless ninth. O'Brien's 5th blown save laid to waste a strong start by St. Louis right-hander Kyle Leahy, who gave up 1 run and 3 hits in 6 innings. He struck out 4 and walked none. Angels starter Jose Soriano threw his best game since early May, allowing 2 runs and 4 hits in 7 innings, while striking out 7 and walking 1. The right-hander, who went 3-6 with a 5.15 ERA in his previous 14 starts, retired the side in order 5 times and became the first Angel starter to get an out in the 7th since June 16th. Walker sparked the Cardinals' second inning rally with a leadoff double over Lowe's head in left field. He went to third on Lars Nootbaar's single and scored on Nathan Church's 1-out single for a 1-0 lead. Blaze Jordan followed with a potential inning-ending double play grounder to third base, but Denzer Guzman bobbled the ball, and his only play was to first as Nootbaar scored for a 2-0 lead. The Angels cut the deficit to 2-1 in the third when Adele mired in an 0-for-24 slump that dropped his batting average to .237 entering the game, led off with his 14th homer of the season. Cardinals lefty Matthew Liberatore is 5-6 with a 5 flat ERA and faces Angels right-hander Walbert Urania, who is 5-7 with a 2.88 ERA on Tuesday night. In scores from around the MLB on Monday, the Cleveland Guardians routed the Minnesota Twins 13-4, while the New York Yankees beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 8-5. The Tampa Bay Rays took down the Toronto Blue Jays 7-1, while the Boston Red Sox beat the Baltimore Orioles 6-5. The Philadelphia Phillies took down the Los Angeles Dodgers 10-7, while the Atlanta Braves beat the San Diego Padres 3-2. The Milwaukee Brewers beat the New York Mets 8-3, while the Kansas City Royals took down the San Francisco Giants 4-3. The Houston Astros took down the Miami Marlins 8-5, while the Washington Nationals beat the Colorado Rockies 7-3. The Athletics beat the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-2, and the Seattle Mariners shut out the Cincinnati Reds 8-0. Green Bay Packers defensive lineman Devonte Wyatt has agreed to terms on a 3-year, $57 million contract extension with a $20 million signing bonus. Wyatt had 6 tackles for loss and 4 sacks in 10 games last season. His season ended after he broke his fibula and tore ankle ligaments during a Thanksgiving Day victory at Detroit, causing him to get carted off the field. Even though he missed much of the season, Wyatt still ranked 3rd on the team in sacks and tied for 4th in tackles for loss. Wyatt has spent his entire NFL career with the Packers, who selected him out of Georgia with the 28th pick in the 2022 draft. He has 16 sacks over his first 4 seasons. Wyatt has had at least 4 sacks each of the past 3 seasons. Get highlights of your local high school program by finding IL SportsWire on your preferred social media platforms, and get local sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
It's Fair Week at the Farmer City DeWitt County Fair with fun for the whole family. Enjoy carnival rides, vendors, classic games, and traditional fair food. Plus, every day there's something new happening. Come see outstanding 4-H and FFA livestock shows. Meet this year's royalty as they walk the fairgrounds and catch live music. Thursday evening with Owen Knapp at Emmer's Place Celebration. Friday brings the excitement of harness racing and pick a winner. And Saturday is packed with family fun.